I ain't going further about that. What's up? What's going on? How's everybody doing? It's Tony D, aka the Random Mosey Broadcaster. This is Bell Kings Fantasy Football League, Season 2 of the league, Week 14 of the 2023 season. I was expecting a few people to join me tonight. A couple of guys are tied up, but it is a Saturday night. People are busy. People have families. People are probably living their lives. I get it. I have a busy afternoon tomorrow, and I didn't want to get off too late. Also want to be able to get out of here on time for an occasion that I have to take care of and handle as a priority. So I wanted to do tonight's broadcast, and if anybody shows up, this will be quick. So we're just going to run over what we got. Week 14, 2023 season, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run through quarterback recommendations and suggestions in accordance with NFL.com. Let us start it off. They are recommending Justin Fields over the Lions. I wouldn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Matter of fact, hold on. Do not let a good performance on Monday night before his bye make you forget just how good he was before the fantasy as of late. Prior to the Week 12 game against the Vikings, Fields has scored 21 plus fantasy points in his last three full games since Week 3, even including a game where he played about half the snaps. He averaged 56 rushing yards per game. Okay, cool. That's equivalent to more than 125 passing yards. Plus, this is a favorable matchup. The Lions have allowed 21 plus fantasy points to a QB in 3 of their last 4 games. Now, there's a fact I wouldn't have thought about, including 21 to Fields himself in Week 11. Detroit has also given up the most rushing yards to quarterbacks. Damn. Start the Bears quarterback. That's talking against the Lions defense. Okay, so he's going to get his numbers whether they win or lose. I get it. I'm against it, but I get it. They say start Brock Purdy against the Seahawks. You have to. However, no, you just have to bump it. The narrative is on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are watching YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and LinkedIn, thank you all for being here, for popping up, for coming through, and even for checking the replay. Like I said, I'm running this pretty quick. I know a lot of people may not show up, but I hope they do. I don't even have time to share this out. I'm just going to run this as I can. You got to start Brock Purdy against the Seahawks. I'm not even going to go through the narrative. You have to. You have to. Start Tua Tagovailoa versus the Titans? No question. No question. I think the Dolphins are going to go for the run. The Titans, I don't know what's going on with them. You have to start Tua Tagovailoa against the Titans. You have to. Start Jordan Love against the Giants. The Giants aren't doing anything. This is an easy yes. So it looks like Jordan Love has been doing good recently. So he's getting his numbers. And they also recommended him getting him a QB1. I think I'm going to attribute his being a QB1 to other quarterbacks going down and being hurt. I'll give you a Joe Burrow. Easily, off the rip. And like I said, especially against the Giants, you got to do this. Start Russell Wilson against the Chargers. I think I remember seeing something against the Chargers defense, if you will. Wilson has proven to be a safer option, but it's been a bit since he reached 20 fantasy points. True. This could be the week he snaps that streak, and he has a great matchup against the Chargers. Los Angeles has allowed the second most passing yards this season and had allowed the third most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks prior to last week's 6-0 win at New England. Not only should Rush be able to put up more production through the air than usual, but he also continues to add value with his legs. Yeah. He scored a rush touchdown in 2 straight and has run for 20 plus yards in 7 of the last 8. You got to take him. You got to take him. Sit him. Justin Herbert against the Broncos. Boy. This one is bold, and I went back and forth on it many times. I believe you. I believe you. Sadie, how you doing? Thank you for coming through, lady. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But Herbert has become a boom or bust lately with fewer than 14 fantasy points in 2 straight and 4 of his last 7. He did score 24 plus in those other 3 facts. The Chargers offense is lacking a downfield element and is capping his fantasy upside. There you go. But this is also this is a really tough matchup. Since week 5, no quarterback has scored 18 fantasy points against the Broncos. Spoiler alert. In that span, they had played Patrick Mahomes twice, held him to fewer than 6 points in week 1, albeit with the fluke facts. Josh Allen held him to fewer than 15, right? And C.J. Stroud last week, yes. In fact, only Jordan Love has thrown multiple passing touchdowns against Denver in that span. Herbert is not a must-sit, but if you have another quarterback option you feel good about this week, like any of the starts above, you can get Herbert out of your lineup. You probably don't, because the ones that are up above are probably already picked up from the draft in the first place. Those quarterbacks up above will not be on the waiver wire. Hang that up. Hang that up. That is the only reason why this looks iffy. But if he hasn't been putting up numbers, I get it. And I will throw it. Well, let me wait, because I'm going to get on that when I finish this category. Actually, when I finish this football position, if you will. Said Geno Smith against the 49ers. I can't question that. Mainly because the 49ers is 100% football team. The 49ers are for real. I'm going to harp on how bad it took out the Eagles. I did not see that happening. The 49ers are complete. I see why they say this, and I have no debate. I really do not. Sit Matthew Stafford against the Ravens. I want to attribute this to the Ravens offense from what I've been hearing about from my other co-hosts up here over the previous weeks. If you think I dislike Geno, you probably slapped the same label on my feelings toward Matthew Stafford. I'll admit that he's certainly been playing better recently and has translated to more fantasy success. He has 7 passing touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Good. But now he faces the Ravens, who have allowed the fewest passing touchdowns in the league this season, 10. They have also yielded the fewest passing yards since week 9. Stafford gets the Commanders in week 15, so I promise you he will not remain a sit for long. Facts. But you can even add him now to get ahead of the matchup if you're looking at a streaming option. But this week on the road to Baltimore, I look away. Yeah, Ravens defense. Stafford is a decent quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. This is mainly about the Ravens defense, and I will give them that. Sit Jameis Winston against the Panthers. I tend to agree. I can't even say nothing. I can't. Nothing. And I'm thinking nothing. Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your quarterback recommendations for week 14 of the 2023 season. And of course, NFL.com. Let me tell all of y'all something. We went through quarterbacks. I'm going to run this little side note. The Monday night game, I believe it was Monday or Sunday, when the Bengals played. And that backup quarterback for the Bengals came out there. That joker was for real. Matter of fact, the Bengals are back in the mix, in my opinion. I will say that for myself. The Bengals are back in the mix. Specifically, easily, absolutely, for AFC Championship. They looked good without Burrow, and I did not expect that. The Bengals are back in the mix. Somebody mark that, please. The Bengals are back in the mix for the AFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl. We're not talking just playoffs anymore. No. They're in the mix for the AFC Championship. Yes, I said it. Running backs. Start Austin Eckler, the Chargers against the Broncos. Yeah. I'm going to let you all go through the narrative. If you're listening to the audio, this will be on Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Rumble. Bell Kings Fantasy Football League. Look this up, please. Week 14. Start Austin Eckler against the Broncos. That's a no-brainer. Raheem Mostert and Devon Shane or Chani, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. Forgive me, bro. Against the Titans, you have to. Once again, the Dolphins are going for it. I don't blame them. The Titans are in shambles. Period. There's nothing more to add to that. Zach Moss against the Bengals. I would actually, let me read this because I've got concerns. Moss unsurprisingly dominated volume in the first quarter after Jonathan Taylor injured his thumb. Moss played 94% of the snaps, so 19 carries, ran 29 routes, and picked up 3 targets while getting work near the goal line. It only translated to 7.7 fantasy points, but the volume is amazing. As long as Moss is dominating the uses like that, he remains a starter in fantasy, especially this week against the Bengals, who have allowed the 4th highest rate of 10-plus yard runs. There's a factor. The matchup and volume combined to provide more than enough reason to give Moss another shot this week. So he's getting a lot of yards, but not putting up a lot of numbers. So he was in the game. They're looking for him to get a breakout. Very high potential for him to break out and get all the points. I will give them that, but I'm not sleeping on the Bengals. I personally am not going to. Not with what I saw Monday. Let's see how this week goes, but as of right now, once again, they're back in the mix. A.J. Dillon of the Packers. Against the Giants, no-brainer. I think it's A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, the running backs for the Packers. Yeah, start them. If you have a fantasy football league team, if you haven't picked them up already, God forbid if they sit on the waiver wire, you better grab him. You have to have him. If you need a deeper option, Ezekiel Elliott of the Patriots against the Steelers. Now, this was Thursday night's game, I believe. I have not seen the numbers. We know what Zeke can do. We have not seen what we thought we was going to see while he was in New England, but apparently he has been doing pretty good. And Ramondre Stevenson has a high ankle sprain, and he's going to be sidelined for a few weeks. I don't think the Patriots have too many more weeks left in this season. Watch that game. Check the replay. Check the numbers on the Thursday night game of the Patriots and the Steelers. That game was actually pretty ugly, now that I remember it. Tajay Spears of the Titans against the Dolphins. They say he's a sleeper option or a streaming option, a deep streaming option. Derrick Henry exited last week due to an injury, or Mike Vrabel said the back is not in the concussion protocol. His status for this week is still up in the air. If he sits, Spears becomes a great streaming option. Spears played 64% of the snaps with 16 carries and 6 targets last week. He saw every running back opportunity the rest of the way after Henry exited. So basically, Tajay Spears is going to get the green light because Derrick Henry is out. And God knows anybody who gets the green light after the star goes down wants to go for it. Maybe I'll change my mind on the status of the Titans after this game, but no. So actually, this game just might be pretty interesting. I think we're going to have to put an asterisk or a star next to this game. Sit them. Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, the Texans against the Jets. I've talked about the Jets defense before. I've given them credit all season. This isn't about the defense to me. This is going to be, I think, about C.J. Stroud getting them yards, throwing the ball, but he doesn't have Tank Dell this week. He has Nico Collins. I have to look at the rest of the roster. My big concern on this is these guys putting up big numbers. I could see both of them getting 10 points apiece, even against the Jets defense. And I will say that because the Texans are on a roll. And quite frankly, they just look like shit. Last week's game, they looked like shit. I'm against this, but I understand it. I am against this prediction, but I understand it. Sit Alexander Madison against the Raiders. I beg your pardon. For much of the season, the Raiders have been a team to start running backs against, but since Antonio Pierce took over in week 9, they're actually in the bottom 10 in rushing yards allowed. The backs have surrendered just 3.8 yards per carry. Let's come against stacked competition too, as they have faced Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, Raheem Mostert, and Isaiah Pacheco in that span. Pacheco was the only one to reach 15 fantasy points. Madison has been held to single digits in 3 straight and 5 of 6. He doesn't have a rushing touchdown all year and shares work with Ty Chandler. Okay. He's sharing the work. He's going up against a defense that actually could give you an issue. I'll give them that. Sit Khalil Herbert against the Lions? Yeah. The Bears are not known for their offense. I'll say it. They're not. But yeah. Sit Kareem Hunt of the Browns against the Jaguars? Yeah. The Browns, we don't know what the hell's going on with them. I've given the Browns hope. I've been kind of motivated. I paid a little bit of a focus or attention to them. No. Browns are done. Jaguars? Yeah. Excuse me. Those are your running back recommendations for Week 14 of the 2023 season in accordance with NFL.com. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. Wide receiver recommendations. Let's see what we got. Start DJ Moore against the Lions. I know what I just said about the Chicago Bears offense, but I like DJ Moore as a wide receiver. I'm with this. I'm truly with this. Start DJ Moore. Yes. Brandon Ayuk at the 49ers against the Seahawks. No brainer. Start Brandon Ayuk. That man has been the truth. Start Cortland Sutton of the Broncos against the Chargers. I actually watched a couple of the last Broncos game. Cortland Sutton looked like what we was expecting out of him for quite some time. I do get it. I have no debate against this. Start Rashee Rice of the Chiefs against the Bills. I think that was Bathurst that was telling me about Rashee Rice. Might have been Rich. You all keep eyes on this guy. Let me know what you think. I think he's been getting good opportunities and good looks I haven't checked his production. Start Jaden Reed of the Packers against the Giants. No brainer. They call him Wisconsin Debo Samuel. Oh damn. Now Christian Watson did go off. Watson exited with a hamstring injury. The game snap Reed's 3-game streak of 15 plus fantasy points. He has topped 11 and 5 of the last 7. He gets used on the ground as a receiver. Should see a boost in volume if Watson sideline, which he is. And he and Romeo Dobbs, there's that other guy, will operate as the top 2 receivers. Facts. Since week 9, the Giants have allowed the 4th most yards to receivers. Reed is in play as a wide receiver 3 or flex option this week. Yeah. If you need a streamer, Brandon Cooks against the Eagles and Gabe Davis against the Chiefs. Brandon Cooks, I'm in agreement with. I've been watching a couple of games. I've seen a couple of games. Brandon Cooks looks like he's trying to get his name, put some more respect on it. Gabe Davis is having moments. I haven't caught a lot of Bills games, but I've been hearing things, and I'd grab him. Even against the Chiefs with the Bills, the Bills need all hands on deck. The Cowboys damn sure do too. These are going to be 2 dangerous ass games. These 2 games are going to be dangerous. Buffalo has to play for their relevance. The Cowboys and the Eagles, they're playing for dominance. Seriously. Sit them. Sit T. Higgins against the Colts. I wouldn't. Jake Browning is the quarterback for the Bengals. Yeah, that man went off. Thank you. Jake Browning and the Bengals looked better last week, but it still didn't translate to a big game for Higgins. No, but it was a good game for the team. This is a fact. He was targeted just 3 times on Monday Night Football. Now he gets the Colts, who have allowed the fewest yards to receivers since week 9. They also play zone coverage at the highest rate in the NFL. And Higgins has struggled against zone this season. While he is a big name, the production just has not been there. That's a fact. He's always capable of surprising and putting up a strong performance, but given the recent production and matchup, I would try to get away this week. I agree with that 100%. Higgins can put up numbers. It's a matter of whether or not he gets the ball, and it's a damn shame he hasn't been. For people who have drafted him, especially drafted him early, I know a couple of leagues that I was in, they were pulling him left and right. Seriously. They were pulling him left and right. So I'm surprised at that. But it's also being a disappointment. He's on a team where everybody gets the ball. That's not a detriment to the team. It may be a detriment to us in fantasy, and that's where they don't care. They want to win the game. Only we are worried about specific players getting a number of points. This is a fact. This has actually come out from back when Maurice Jones-Drew was on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all might want to think about that. Sit Tyler Lockett of the Seahawks against the 49ers? I would not. You need Tyler Lockett out there. Him and DK Metcalf are doing the damn thing. Even against the 49ers, I would not. Narratives on the screen. I'm going to let y'all take your time. I can't do that. I can't. There's no way. They're going up against potentially the best team in the NFC, period. Maybe the best team in the entire NFL. And he's one of their best players. I would not. I cannot. You can't even find anybody to pick up off the waiver wire to take his spot. No. Adam Thielen, sit him against the Saints. This is a no-brainer. This is actually a tragedy. Adam Thielen was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL not too long ago. And he's not getting the ball like he's supposed to. He gets a couple of good games, but he is not getting the ball like he's supposed to, even against the Saints. You have to sit him. Sit Chris Godwin against the Falcons. I beg your pardon. Wait one damn minute. He's not getting no points. He's not getting no money. He's not getting no yards. Well, he's not getting any yards, not getting any points, which equates to not getting any money in fantasy football. Let me say it like that on purpose. Damn. One of the best wide receivers in the game. It's a damn shame. Sit George Pickens of the Steelers against the Patriots. Yeah. And y'all don't have a decent quarterback situation going on in Pittsburgh right now, even against the damn Patriots. Yeah, I'm going to let y'all go through that one. Mitch Trubisky is QB. I know a couple of Steelers fans who are not happy with Thursday night's game because I think back to it. Not good. Not good. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your wide receiver recommendations for Week 14 in 2023 season in accordance with NFL.com. We are now going to go to tight ends, the position of tight end. Pause. All that craziness. Chill. Start Dalton Kincaid of the Bills against the Chiefs. You have to. Once again, 2 powerhouse AFC teams. One's definitely going to the Super Bowl. The other one's fighting to take that spot. Period. Start him. Start Jake Ferguson at the Cowboys against the Eagles. You need to. The Cowboys are going to need all hands on deck, and so are the Eagles. This is pretty much going to be a fight for respect in the division. Both of them are former Super Bowl champions. Eagles are running on a good 5, 6, 7 year run of relevance. Cowboys trying to get back their respect in the first place. And I say it like that on purpose because y'all know that's the truth as a football fan, straight up. Start Taysom Hill against the Panthers. You have to. Taysom Hill is a multi-positional threat on the offense of any team that he is on. And the Carolina Panthers look like shit this season. Case closed. Start Kyle Pitts of the Falcons against the Bucs. You have to. And if the Bucs are looking as bad as everybody says they are, looking at their record, they're 5-7. So if people are not happy, they're missing Brady. We got all that. Start Kyle Pitts. I really do think he's going to be fine. Rookie tight end. The Falcons are looking like they're doing pretty good this season. Sitting at a comfortable 500. I ain't mad at them. If you need a streamer, Gerald Everett of the Chargers, once again, we got to go with this. Gerald Everett doesn't get the ball enough. He's touchdown dependent, straight up. Despite the Chargers scoring only 6 points last week, Everett held a solid fantasy day. He caught 4 or 5 for 44 yards, going for 8.4 fantasy points. He has just one game in the last 5 with fewer fantasy points than that. And 3 times in that span, he's reached double digits. He also gets an amazing matchup this week against the Broncos, who have allowed the most catches, second most yards, most fantasy points, and third most touchdowns to tight ends this season. So he'll probably get in. In a nutshell, he'll probably get in the end zone. Good, because he needs to. Sit him. Evan Ingram of the Jaguars against the Browns. I wouldn't. Evan Ingram just got a touchdown that last game he played. Did he not? The drive is over. Ingram finally scored a touchdown, bingo, and had a big game against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. Exactly. But that was in the best matchup for a tight end. Now he gets the worst. There you go. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good stat. Something people may not know. The Browns have allowed just 262 yards to tight ends this season. Every other team has given up more than 400. They've also allowed just 3 touchdowns. Mark Andrews had 124 and 2 scores in 2 games versus the Browns and is the only tight end to score more than 8 fantasy points against them. Nice factoid. The matchup is so tough that you can easily get away from Ingram for a stream option that you feel comfortable starting. Okay. Pat Frymouth for the Steelers versus the Patriots. He's back from injury. Patriots suck. That's a yes. Juwan Johnson of the Saints against the Panthers. Go for it. What's Carolina going to do? Wait. And these are sit-ems? Yeah, this is a sit-em. So you want to sit Juwan Johnson against Carolina. That's only because Juwan Johnson ain't getting the ball. The Saints used 4 different tight ends this week. Okay, that's the other factor. Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown. Hell, I didn't even know he was back there. Foster Moreau had a long catch and a touchdown run. Oh, damn, he's still there too. Taysom Hill did Taysom Hill things. Oh, he plays more than one position. Meanwhile, Johnson was targeted 3 times and did not catch a pass. That's right. You scored as many fantasy points as Johnson did last week. Oh, that's a diss. A crowded tight end room is to be avoided at all costs. There's no floor or ceiling here. Got it. Sit Tyler Higbee against the Ravens. Mismanaged because defense. The Rams. Yeah, since Cooper Kupp's return, Higbee has topped double digits just once and never reached 50 yards. There you go. Damn. That's messed up. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your tight end recommendations for Week 14 of the 2023 season in accordance with NFL.com. Let us go to kickers. Kickers. Jesus. This is actually kind of elementary, mainly because of the defense and the special teams. I did not emphasize special teams when I spoke on kickers a couple of weeks ago. That is my bad. That is my apology. Your kicker, you want it to run with how the defense gets down the field or protects the ball or even intercepts the ball. And the special teams, you want to see how they're going to do when they line up, making sure there aren't any botch plays, period. Brandon Aubrey, the Cowboys against the Eagles, you have to start them. What are we doing here? Matt Gay of the Colts against the Bengals. Yeah, I think the Colts will get downfield. Yeah. Jake Elliott of the Eagles against the Cowboys, no brainer. Yes. Cairo Santos of the Bears against the Lions. We'll see. Narrative or no narrative, we'll see. Sit him. Young Hoku of the Falcons against the Bucks. I'm not sitting that dude. Y'all must be talking about the competition of kickers and the points they accumulate every week for you to say to sit this dude. And this is not the first time this season I've seen this. I'm not sitting Oku. I'm not sitting him. I can't. Jake Moody of the 49ers, sit him against the Seahawks, mainly because of the points that will be accumulated during the game. But I disagree. I disagree. They're talking about field goals. They got to be. Chris Boswell of the Steelers, sit him against the Patriots. It's only because the game probably won't have a whole lot of points, and the Steelers do play ugly, even against a sorry team. Okay. Sit Lucas Haversick against the Ravens. Haversick kicks for the Rams. Sit him against the. I want to see how that goes. I can't really comment on that one too much. That looks very ugly. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your kicker recommendations for Week 14 of the 2023 season. And of course, NFL.com. Last but not least, we are going to the defenses. Haven't gotten through the whole category all yet and been able to narrow this down inside 30 minutes, and I am at 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you very much. Start your Texans defense against the Jets. Yeah. I hate to say it, but that's probably going to be easy money for the Texans. Jets offense is ridiculous. I would ask if there's any questions, but you can't tell me shit on this one. No. Start the Colts defense against the Bengals, pretty much. I think you may catch something here and or there. I'm not sure the points that you'll accumulate, but I can see this. With no problem. Start the Green Bay Packers defense against the Giants. Duh. Start the Dolphins defense against the Titans. Duh. Start the Steelers against the Patriots. Duh. And that was Thursday night's game. Run through those numbers, please. Sit them. Sit the Cowboys defense against the Eagles. I wouldn't. Ain't no way in the hell I would sit the Cowboys defense against the Eagles, even for fantasy points. Ain't no way like a gospel song. Sit the Eagles defense against the Cowboys. See, now y'all playing. Even if y'all do run the ball. No. Sit the Chiefs defense against the Bills. No. Now watch them say the Bills and the Chiefs. How the hell did I know? No. No. Let's just run this back again. Start the Texans against the Jets. Yes. Start the Colts against the Bengals. I see it. Start the Packers against the Giants. Yes. Start the Dolphins against the Titans. Yes. Start the Steelers against the Patriots. Duh. Sit the Cowboys and the Eagles? No. Sit the Eagles against the Cowboys? No. Sit the Chiefs against the Bills? No. Sit the Bills against the Chiefs? No. Man, please. Those are your defense recommendations for the Week 14 of the 2023 season. It, of course, NFL.com. I ain't playing with y'all. Eagles Cowboys are going to be an ugly game. You all might want to check that out. Bills and Chiefs are going to be a tight game. Y'all might want to check that out. It's getting down to the wire for a few teams for a few of these games. Definitely in some of the standings. Who's in the hunt? Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to make the wild card? I think a couple of division leaders have been solidified as well. Fantasy football leagues, I know everybody's season about to wind down. I'm actually second in 2 leagues. Tied for 3rd and 1, the bottom of another. And one's an extra league I don't stand a chance in. Check your rosters, check your scores, check your players, check the injury reports. You all probably will not see me tomorrow morning. If the fellas want to pop up for a little bit, I just might. But I definitely wanted to get the narrative out there. Thank you, Sadie, for popping up. Thank you to whoever else is watching. I see 2 sets of eyes. I appreciate any and everybody who will check this out on the replay. Yes, this was quick. This was straight to the point. This is how I used to do it when I first started the last season. When it's just me. I just run through it. And by now, once you get through the season, some things are pretty much elementary. So no disrespect to anything what we have been doing, because I've been enjoying myself with everybody. But I do have a tight schedule tomorrow morning. I want to make sure I got the broadcast in, and I wasn't going to be late at the same time. So if the fellas want to pop up tomorrow, maybe we'll jump up and do something. I've done my part. I can let the fellas carry the conversation with no problem, all right? Thank you all for coming through. Appreciate everybody for being here. I will talk to you all soon, all right?